Decided they've been on here every night, so can just move on top of us. They don't care, is what she said. I don't care. You know something, I really don't care. We'll slide down the van. I would really move up the van one. We slide down about to 1.5. I want to slide up one. I don't feel like fighting tonight. Oh, man. This would be a good one. Now, she owns this frequency. The FCC has issued the frequency to her.
They still have to code, you know, they have to use the common sense. Sometimes people have to be courteous, you know. If you never use the common sense, well, I'm sorry. That's the problem with amateur radio today. Everybody want to do crazy things. If they go in there exactly because they know that we many years will be here, 38 things. Go ahead.
Yes, guaranteed on MEH. We don't own 3810, so those guys, they don't own that. They're listening to it. And they've been talking and using 09, so it's not polite for her.
Even though we like to use 3810, we don't own it. And we do not have the right to interfere with an ongoing conversation 1 KC away. So my suggestion is move up a couple of KCs and get off the back here and leave them alone until they get. They've been on there a couple of nights in a row, so they got there first. Whoever gets there first, they get to play frequency. That's the way it is in the rule book. So my suggestion is we need to move K9MEH.
Oh, we're not moving. Sorry, they can move.
No, that's not the way it's played.
I don't own it. Nobody owns it. They should have just moved up a couple.
You guys stay right here and enjoy yourselves. I've been listening to you for the last 2 hours. You're doing a fine job. This is Bart, K9MEH. Nobody owns 3810.
Darcy, you still here?
I'm losing it. Is it November 4 Zulu Echo Whiskey? Is that right?
That's his call sign, November 4 Zulu Echo Whiskey.
Roger, roger. Okay, good deal. Good deal. I'm going to put you in my QRZ logbook here. All right, Tim, well, good to meet you. I know how it is about those XYLs. They'll get you, they'll see you talking on the radio is what it is, and that's when they come up with something for you to do, usually. But take care. Good to meet you, and hope we can hook up again sometime soon. 7-3, Tim, AA4C there.
All right, you got to bail out of here. This is WD4RMD.
You might want to tell that complainant to invent a personal tragedy and work on that one a while and stay off the radio. I don't think you like that.
That may have been the bridge you burned right there.
Yeah, well, he's active now, though. He's calling people, you know.
Well, you know, it's an end-of-life thing. You know, he wants to make amends.
Well, he works for the ARRL now. He's picking up the phone to try and do what he did when he was in the Enforcement Bureau. I think it's kind of cool. Call you up and say, hello, Tom, this is Riley. And listen, that situation between you and that other guy, could we get you to cool your jets? And then that's it. You know, that usually works.
You know, I'm dying to ask you. You know that.
Yeah, who's the other guy?
Yeah, who's the other? Well,
what frequency was that on?
7200.
Yeah, he did call somebody else on 7200.
They need to do something with that whole group up there.
It's been quiet. There's 3 people I talk to on there, and once I'm done with them, I get out. It gets crazy. But, you know, it's somebody said, I thought I heard it out here, that I was like a kingpin or something there. I'm good for 20 minutes, maybe every 3 days. No, that's true, huh? But that's the international tune-up frequency.
Did you ever record Dale and play it back so he could hear himself with his new set?
No, I hadn't had the recorder on in weeks. I just quit. I do it once in a while, help somebody out. But who was it? Wham played him back, but...
Oh, was that Wham did that?
Yeah, that was Wham.
I hope Wham's feeling better. He's been awful sick.
Yeah. Wham's like my buffer. I like Wham. Now, there's a couple people don't like it when he's talking amplifiers, but that's when you will hear me not key up. Because when he's talking to like him and Randy and all that about amps, I sit back and shut up. There's a lot of stuff to learn.
This Sam, I don't know what in the world we'll do. I don't know what this world is coming to.
They took his shotgun away, but he got a new M15 now. That boy.
Well, he might still be able to hunt that rabbit.
He had a bunch of them with an M15.
She had got it, and she said for 2 days she thought she was dying. She couldn't.
Brand new in the box.
Yeah, I'd like to find me another one.
Well, the Democrats has been wanting to let them in here and have open borders and not build a wall or do nothing, just let them come in. And now they're saying they're doing the COVID-19. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. They blaming it on them for all these spikes in these states now. They blaming it on the Mexican people. I wonder who's next.
They're probably blaming on these rednecks up here in these hills of North Carolina, I guess. They said South Carolina had the biggest spike yesterday, and most people put in hospitalization they'd ever had through the whole mess.
You know what that tells you, don't you? Stay out of South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they'll tell you one thing one day, and the next day that ain't right. They'll tell you to do something else. Some says to wear a mask, some says you don't have to. It's just a mass confusion.
I don't wear mine around the house, but when I go out, I wear it till I get out of the car. It's it again, KK4STW.
You know, darling.
KD4RQ.
KD4RQT.
To the toaster. I had a problem with the toaster.
I bet I could get it for $1,900.
Yeah, hey, you're seeing all these FTDX 9000s that were $11,000 and $13,000 radios that are...
They're having to do it at 10 minutes. I think I'll be every half hour.
You know, the thing about it is we sit back when seen the Chinese get it, and Italy, they was all eat up with it.
Check out also.
You better have a good one.
73 God bless us. We'll see all of you. I think it's discontinued. Joseph, what were you saying?
Buildings without laying it down, That thing hung right up under there, man. That's just great.
Deal just letting everybody, this is back before the Corona thing, all these people from all over the world is coming over here and camping out. But there's a spaghetti western, they go right on by it. I can't buy that photography deal that the boys got.
I like that one Clint Eastwood, the Gauntlet.
All right. Well, Diane and
Family okay?
7-3, I got my radio, I'm still on the 10 tech, but got the ASU back, and if I get ambitious enough, I'll change.
We're outside there.
But I have no interest in it, so I never even read up on it. Well, we'll find out if they're telling us the truth or if I'm understanding them correctly in about a week or two. So I'll have it in and I'll let y'all know.
Well, yeah, if Gigaparts stays true to their form, it'll take you a couple, 3 weeks to get it.
Yeah, the guys asked me when I was expecting it in, and I told them that they said Wednesday or Thursday, but they didn't tell me which Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, yeah. Okay, I was telling them I went in there Monday, and I thought that store was a joke. I never seen anything so small. Yeah, and there's a bunch of them smart-mouth kids, too, answers the phone. Oh, yeah. So when I walked in there, they just, weird young people. Millennials, that's what was in there. Yeah.
Well, you just got to know exactly what you want and go in there and find it and set it up there on the counter, and all that dude needs to do is ring it up.
I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not spending another dime of my money on them. 2 little connectors, 2 little bitty PL259 to N converters, adapters from Huntsville, Alabama, which is less than 100 miles. Took 2 weeks. Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know, Bill.
What you got, Bill?
Oh, my noise level has dropped. It's almost like my antenna was laying on the ground. Well, copy real good. But that's a hell of an increase. The other thing that was quite an increase, the Blu-ray and DVD player that I bought was $240. And that same player, same model number, came out in 2018. It was selling for $170, $180. It went up almost 40%. And the TV sets in the range that I'm looking for were just over $1,000. Now they're just under $2,000. That's a hell of an increase. I know, yeah, I'm going to get screwed, but I got to buy one. I got to get one for that big room over there, man. I need like a 6-footer or something, you know, I don't know, a big one.
Yeah, but was it an R7 or the R8?
Maybe, I don't know. It depends what the boss says, you know. I can't make that kind of decision.
Well, I think you're going to be 12 foot from the TV set. Normal watching, you don't need a 6-foot TV set.
Well, let me record that and say that again so I can record that and tell that to my wife.
No, what you need to do is, and you got to go to a store that's has these things set up that you can change your distance. And it has to be in a room that's not brightly lit and everything else. And then you move to the left and move to the right. If you're close on a set that's 65 inches, and you move to the left, because the room is not 30 feet deep, but it's not 30 feet wide normally, so you can't get out. You got to get closer. Believe me, I've got a 30-foot living room. I've got a 55-inch set in there now. And it's really a perfect size. But I would like a 60. 60 would be ideal for that 30-foot size. And I'm just 30 foot away, and that's perfect. And I don't have to go left or right. I don't have to move. It's just perfect. But I want 60 inches, 5 feet, not 6 or 7 feet.
Statue down out in Seattle and set it on fire.
Yeah, knock them out, John.
Yeah, doing that to Christopher Columbus wouldn't bother me none whatsoever anyway, because he didn't find nothing. No, he wasn't the one that found America. Americus Vespucius is the one that discovered America, but Christopher Columbus took credit for it. Can you find something that's already here with the Native Americans?
He's talking about the Indians was already here.
Yeah, the Indians is already here.
But the whites got rid of the Indians.
Oh, yeah, that's the biggest genocide in the world. 101 million Indians on the United States property lost their lives.
How many?
101 million.
101 million.
But if one of you ever go out west, there are acres and acres and acres and acres and miles and nothing but sand. And that's the biggest genocide this world has ever seen. It was even bigger than what happened over yonder in Germany and Poland and over through there. It wasn't nothing compared to what happened here. I can't understand why they're still letting them use Black Friday. Well, it ain't just Black Friday. It's a Black History Month. They got a Black History Month, but they ain't no White History Month, and they ain't no Native American History Month. I wonder why.
Hey, darling. How's your blood pressure?
And all kinds of other stuff, and it works. The only ones I find, in their beds, find a tick in the bed. Well, like I said, I just scratched one out from behind her ears. They're all dead. They don't have that stuff you give them.
Forces through the passband is kind of a phase ripple, and they don't sound as good.
Exactly, 23. I figure she didn't get bitten. The fact that it's dead is I'm not going to get bit.
My only concern is a lot of the CW will be like 10 times faster than what I'm able to handle. But Van says, yeah, a lot of it will be, but there'll be a lot of stuff, slow stuff too. So we'll see how it goes.
There you go.
Y'all gonna get together somewhere, Greg? Or y'all gonna work from home? From home. All right. Well, I'll talk to Van about.
Another box mounted and wired.
I don't have but 2 more boxes to go.
Okay.
Other than didn't have that, I just.
Oh, for you, it'll let the wife read it? Yeah. She reads a lot, yeah.
Okay. On a desk right beside the bed, and when it's too cold to get out from under the covers in the mornings, he would talk on that 7100 while he's still laying in bed.
Well, has he tried a 7300 yet?
That's reset. 65 is probably 60. It would be
what osmosis is, but anyway, it's supposed to be okay for them. And 3M didn't want to pay for it.
And it depends on who you are and who you know in the judicial system. Am I correct?
I think anymore it depends on the situation at hand in the national climate. Right now, there's nobody that's wanting a career in politics is going to buck the system. They're going with the flow and getting on their knees and all that crap. They need to grow a bit and stand up and enforce the law.
Yeah, there's only a couple of things you do on your knees, and none of them's good.
Well, I guarantee you one of them won't be me bowing down to some of them bastards.
I can think of one thing on the knees that's good.
I like what Joseph said. There ain't too many good things you do on your knees.
Well, if we keep having the violence, they keep letting the violence go on like it's been going. It's not going to do nothing but get worse.
Only thing I'm going to kneel to do is pray, and that's it.
You got that right. Got that right. That's it.
This violence is taking place in these democratically held cities and controlled areas, and the leadership is sensitive or sympathetic to their causes, and it's never going to stop.
I got to speak softly, but so to big steady.
Well, if they don't put a handle on it and start controlling this election coming up, it's going to be a mess.
I think it's going to start tonight. Let me say it one more time. I think it's going to start tonight in Tulsa.
I think they're going to come to it. They're going to all organize and get together, and they're going to demand paper ballot or something, a vote like that, so they can win.
It's pretty nice. They started out here too. Looks pretty good. Supposed to get up in about the mid-80s today. We've had
Yeah.
Swap out a condensing unit and an air handler.
Do Freon lines. And run a gas line. That's right.
KZS. Hey, Bart.
KX4US.
I come in and sit out in the middle of the day in my recliner, I'm going to fall asleep, I promise.
Before JSH calling the Tennessee phone net, is it?
Riding nowhere to Starville, Mississippi, right there, Mr. Pat. I talked to you about all the way over there.
Yeah, I think I could have talked to you every step of the way. I don't know.
Chow tent to my tent, and I thought
Dark. I couldn't see anything.
So, by one engine, the one in the front. A friend of mine over here, Ham friend, just retired from that, and he
radio catalog years ago had him on the front cover with one of his, I don't know if it was a Swan, a Drake, I don't remember what it was, but it was one of the old stations, boy. It's good looking stuff.
Your email address still at live.com?
www4cm@live.com, right.
I'm going to send you something. You can just save it to your computer for future reference.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Picture of me. The guys, the company that I work for, they've got two of them, and I guess they sent one of them over to Mississippi, and so I don't know what they're doing other than selling memorabilia. Yeah, they got T-shirts and caps and all that kind of stuff in here. They pull a trailer full of that stuff.
And now they have discovered a white woman who is the arsonist, or who I believe is responsible for setting the Wendy's restaurant on fire, where all this so-called shooting took place. I got a little article here that I'll just read just a brief part of it because I think it's very, very interesting. It says Natalie White, that's her name, Natalie White, accused in arson of Atlanta Wendy's restaurant. It says Natalie White is the name of the accused arson suspect who authorities believe may be responsible, at least in part, for the fire that destroyed the Wendy's restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia, near where a police officer shot and killed Rashard Brooks. An arrest warrant has been issued by the Atlanta fire investigators for Miss Natalie White. She has been identified as a suspect in the arson fire that burned down the Wendy's restaurant, 125 University Avenue, on Sunday, June 13th. And it goes on to call this number, says with any info, Atlanta Fire and Rescue wrote on Twitter on June 20th. On June 13th, Atlanta Fire wrote Atlanta Fire units are standing by until they can safely get the fire burning at Wendy's restaurant is fully involved in and adjacent to a gas station. No reports of anyone inside the location. The Atlanta Fire Department said investigators later released additional pictures of Miss White. The charges came after unrelated incidents in Philadelphia where a woman, Lori Elizabeth Blumenthal, was accused of torching police cars. In New York, attorney Collinford Mattis and law student I can't even pronounce that, Rahman, I guess it sounds like some kind of a Middle Eastern name or something there, are accused of participating in a Molotov cocktail attack on an empty New York police department vehicle during protest, CNN said. Here's where it gets a little interesting. It says, Randy Travis of Fox 5 wrote on Facebook, Atlanta Fire and Rescue investigators believe they've identified the woman in this photo who was seen helping set fire to the Wendy's in the wake of Rashard Brooks' shooting. They say she's 29-year-old Natalie White of Gwinnett County. Interestingly, that's also the name of the girlfriend Brooks repeatedly told Atlanta Police Department officers had just dropped him off that night at the Wendy's. Says we've been unable to confirm it's the same person. We walked to White's mother Friday and asked whether her daughter knew Brooks, and she refused to comment and ended the conversation. The Atlanta Fire and Rescue Department is asking if anyone knows White's whereabouts to call 404-577-TIPS or arson tip line 1-800-292-5804. So it goes on. The article does, and I just now we're starting to peel back the onion, so to speak, and we're getting a little bit of an idea of what some of this is going on. This guy Rashard Brooks was extremely violent. He was acting real calm, and they were all getting along fine and everything until the officer asked him to turn around and said he was under arrest, and they were trying to put the handcuffs on him. And then, man, I've never seen such a brawl. He fought hard, stole one of the officer's tasers, and needless to say, I won't go into what all happened from there because I know you've already seen all the tape footage and everything, just like I have. But it's a crying out shame when we've got so many bad people, and especially in these cities, these democratically controlled cities, that they can't control their people, and they just go wild. They go to burning and looting, and it just goes on, and then it just spreads from one bad city to the other. But now we know that this white woman here, this so-called Natalie White, now is starting to look like she's involved in setting the fire to this Wendy's, and she's the girlfriend of this Brooks guy, this Rashard Brooks. So it'll be interesting. Why is it that she's so hard to locate all of a sudden? They're not able to find her unless they've already found her, and I'm not aware of it. So let's see what turns up here in the near future, folks. And I'm sure we'll all learn something. Who knows? This thing may be some setup from the very beginning just to cause trouble. I don't know. Who knows? But let's let the investigators do their work, and hopefully we'll find out and get to the bottom of the whole thing. And I think that's what this prosecuting attorney out of Atlanta should have done. But now they're starting to lose their police force. They've had, I think, all but one area in Atlanta the other night that had any kind of police protection at all, or police, I guess you say coverage or whatever. All the other areas in Atlanta, and there's a lot of them, were simply not, the police was simply not available. There wasn't any police. The 911 calls were coming in, and nobody was responding. They didn't have any police force to respond to. And the only other law enforcement that was responding was the Georgia State Patrol. Now, the Georgia State Patrol The only thing they were doing was working wrecks, from what I was told. They was working car accidents. So they weren't getting involved in all the other things that was going on in Atlanta. They also sought help of the surrounding cities and counties, but to no avail. I think they bowed out too. They wasn't going to come to Atlanta's rescue. So maybe they're getting a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. KA8JOY, back to you, Bob, and I think you can just check me out. I'm gonna bow out, but I have enjoyed it, and I appreciate you giving me a turn. This is K4WH, over.
Thank you, Russ. We appreciate your input. I will show that you are going to pass on round 2 and 3, but thank you for your comments. KK4WX. This is KHLI. Next on my list is Jim behind the battle lines of the great state of Michigan. KE8INE. Mr. Jim, what have you had for us tonight? This is KAHJOY.
Jerry and a bunch of them.
Well, I'd like to see him move up there because that 02, I used to be on 02 for, I don't know, 15 years or so, and they kind of died out. I'd like to hear some fellas get on there and talk a little bit. Good.
What time does that Century group come in or leave?
Well, Central Time be 2100.
I've heard the biggest week I've had in a long time. I was glad to do it. I held up, but I mean, you know, by the end of the week you're tired.
Hey, I just K5 UTS. I know what you're talking about. Like this morning, I got up and went out and I got a 24 by 40 slab right by the house here, and I went out there and bleached it and got filled out and got on my lawnmower and started cutting grass, and it wasn't long. I was soaking wet. Good.
You know, normally this Friday or Saturday I'm cutting grass here, but we didn't really have. We had some cloudy days, cool nights, but we really didn't have much rain this week at all. It was widely scattered. It just missed us. I'm going to let mine go another day or two, I think. I'd hate to cut it right now. It'd probably be really hard on that fescue, and it didn't grow that much. Being the days were hot and virtually no rain, so starting to stretch out, not having to cut it quite as often. But I've noticed the wasps are building in the same kind of places they built last year. And to me, what I'm accustomed to last year was odd. So that means this year they're building the same places. It's odd again, so I'm just going to wait and see what kind of winter we're going to have, because we may have although we had a snow last year, wasn't much of nothing. But for the most part, it was a real mild winter. So I'm anxious to see what this coming winter is going to be like.
Hey, Roger. Well, you know, with this COVID-19 going on, airplanes wasn't flying and vehicles wasn't running up down the road there for a couple of months. If you'll notice that the air quality got great there for a while, and that may have some different kinds of winter. I hope it does. I hope it gets colder. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, talking about cutting grass, my grass ain't really great, but you have to cut it. We got 10 inches, 10 and a half inches the first part of the month, but we were like 16, 18 inches below normal anyway. Go ahead.
How about that? Well, now, according to here in Atlanta, to weather people,
We had 70% of our annual precipitation by the May 31st. We had already had 70% of our annual precip. So it may dry up.
You know what's funny? Last year, I got more rain here than I've got in the last 10 years. We got 70-something inches of rain, but of course,
not band, but the frequency where people talk on AM. Was we close to that?
I don't know. I never know that, and JON knows it, and I feel stupid for not knowing it.
I know one night I kept hearing a tone, and I thought it was somebody like being stupid, you know, just there was somebody talking, and, you know, somebody was on a frequency, and there was a tone right next to them, like they were keying up, or, you know, tuning a tuner, or doing it on purpose, you know, making these weird tones, and that tone would go up and down. It'd go like, I'm like, what the heck is that? And finally, I just reached over and hit AM, and it was the AM guys. They were talking AM, I guess, because they're you know, when you key up, you're holding a constant carrier. That's actually making a noise on the sideband, making a noise like somebody's like tuning an amplifier or whatever. I thought it was somebody messing with somebody, but no, it's just AM guys.
What frequency was that, Chuck?
Well, I'm thinking it was right close to where we were at, 3.86 something. I mean, 865 or where we were at. You know, I thinking it was right in that area.
And JON knew what it was, and like I said, the only time I did that, I kind of felt like a dumbass because I didn't know what it was, but JON knew the carrier frequency.
You can use 3.825, 3.880, 3.885.
3.885, yeah, 3885, is that right?
That's affirmative.
Yeah, that's where I kept hearing, it was crazy, but I kept hearing this crazy, I'm like, what the heck is going on there? I mean, they're not like messing with anybody or trying to make noise. I'm like, what is that noise? And then finally, when I turned it to AM, I heard the guys talking. That's when I figured it out.
Chuck, what was that noise again?
3.885. What other frequencies, please?
3.825. It says 3.870 West Coast, 3.880, and 3.885. So are we going to go to one of those frequencies and go to AM mode?
Hey, we can do it.
No, we don't want you to interfere with the AM.
Well, we can do AM right here. we can just turn on all our radios on the AM and we can talk right now.
You know, I had a really fun conversation with some guys on AM that were using World War II radios.
Hey, let's try it. Let's all go to AM real quick on the same frequency. Go to AM. Let's see if we can talk to each other.
All right.
10-4 NDV.
W4TMD. Boy, that sounds kind of weird. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but KC4DQE.
No, big time, big time.
That's neat. I like it. You know, maybe we could have 807 on AM.
Let's do it. We are.
Yep, here we go.
I ain't liking it. I can barely hear anybody. I mean, I can hear y'all, but I can barely hear you. What am I doing wrong?
All right, how about now?
No, when you key up, I can tell it's a constant key up. It's got a bunch of noise by. I think that's my fault, or it ain't my fault, but I think that's because I got this noise over here in my yard that screws with my signal. Yeah, I'm hearing it when everybody keys up. I can hear this buzz sound on everybody.
Well, there's more signal noise.
Let's face it, AM don't sound as good as sideband.
You're right about that. I'm sorry I even brought it up. I'm going back to sideband. This sucks.
Lower sideband, LSD.
We can try that. We can do it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Same frequency.
me, Tom?
Y'all, I've gone back to single sideband, lower sideband, and this is the best.
Tango Mike Delta on 3.868. W4 TMD.
So much better. KN4NDB.
I guess we have to have a World War II radio to talk on AM. I don't know. Well, I tried it. I heard some of y'all pretty good on AM. Then we went to FM. I don't know what that was. Like I said, something there. That didn't work out too good. I'm back over here.
One of the very cool things about that is that it will listen to broadcast FM, and so when I have quit work in my office in the house and I'm playing with the FT8, I can listen to WSB FM on the 7100. So that's very cool.
Yeah, well, I may have to, y'all let me know, do I need to turn my mic gain down?
You're good, man. Nail it down. Don't do anything. You're sounding good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you sound fine.
As usual, I pressed the wrong button. I'm back.
Kevin, did you push the wrong button?
Kevin ain't gonna do that.